Good morning, Kell Raisers. Today, I'm gonna go to Chick-Fil-A. Wanna come along? Come along. Just put my seatbelt on. I got my, wait. It is a rather gloomy day outside today, but I thought, let's make it better with chicken. So yeah, we're going to Chick-Fil-A. I was thinking about going thrifting today, but honestly, I have been to Goodwill way too much. I did laundry yesterday. You know when you do laundry and it makes you realize, I need to get rid of some clothes. And so then I go buy more. But that's my problem, not yours. I don't want to hear about it. Because Uptown Funk is going to give it to you. Because Uptown Funk is going to give it to you. It's raining. It's rain. No, I'm going to go full voice. We're going to lower it. It's raining, man. Hallelujah. It's raining, man. Amen. We're getting closer to chicken. Chicken. Isn't that their slogan? Everyone's getting the same idea as me. Lame. Lol. Oh my gosh, I want a tea so bad right now. Oh my gosh, y'all are gonna learn about my daily habit of getting a half and half tea from wherever I go, whether it's here, Mickey D's, Cookout, Cane's has good tea. We are parked, actually in the Dairy Queen parking lot. They don't have to know. Good tea. So I got a spicy chicken sandwich, extra pickles, I'm one of them, and a kale crunch side, also one of them. I apologize. No, I don't apologize. Here it is in the flesh. Just like taking little bites out of the earth, out of the grass. Let me pray for my food real quick. Prayed for my food. Let's dig in. Yum. Okay, so what I wanted to do, pop a squat because you're getting dinner and a show. I just kind of wanted to talk about some old school stories. And if you know me, I only went to elementary school, public school. So if I was doing school stories from middle and high school, I'd just be airing out family drama basically. So we're just gonna focus on the elementary ones. Okay, did they give me sauce? They did. Honey roast barbecue. This is the only one you can squeeze out of the packet, and I really did not want to dip just for the sake of my clothes because I have spilled sauce before. First bite, and then we'll get into it. I'm gonna have to watch myself eat on camera, but it's fun. Let's go. First story. Okay, when I was a kid, I noticed very early on that I had like insane memory, as if I were Mary Lou Henner from the show Taxi. And if you know Mary Lou Henner, she has like picture perfect memory. It's crazy. There's like a word for it. She could remember like what she ate for breakfast every morning when she was a child or just something like that. Mine wasn't that crazy, but I would be the one remembering just various dates throughout time. And I'll tell you now, April 24th, 2008 was the day that a wasp flew in my grandmom's and granddad's kitchen. I've not forgotten that. The trauma, it still exists. But yeah, keep that in mind for this. I remember I used to be very obsessed with reading the yearbooks. This is probably like second grade maybe. And so I had like the kindergarten and first grade yearbook read front to back probably 20 times or something crazy. And I used to go memorize people's names of people I didn't even know. And then I'd go on the playground and address these people by name, like walking up, dapping them up, hey. And of course they'd all have the same reaction, like, what? How do you know my name? Be careful what you leave on the internet. It's crazy what you can learn about people through Facebook, or in this case, a yearbook. All right, I feel like at this rate I'm gonna go one story, one bite, but bear with me. This next one's a bit of a longer one. There was one time in Spanish class, which Miss Stewart, God bless her, she was honestly one of the realest teachers at that school because looking back, she just did not take BS from kids. Like whenever they were acting stupid, like she would speak up about it, and I loved that about her. There was one time we had Spanish class in the computer lab because there was this website that Miss Stewart wanted us to go to that was like kids stories and you could read it in Spanish. There would be stuff like Goldilocks and the Three Bears, but then there was one called the Three Billy Goats Gruff. And the fun part about these stories was that they had pictures with audio attached to them. Add about 20 kids into the mix with their volume turned up, so everybody can hear like the audio coming out of the screen. There was this one page where, forgive me, I don't remember the story, but they're like fighting off a bridge troll or something, like the grumpy old troll from Dora the Explorer, and they kick him to the curb. They curb stomp him. They kick him into the stratosphere, and of course there's audio for it. And I can't remember if it was me or like one of the other kids that played it first, but it was loud. Like, it played at full blast, full tilt boogie. And so then everyone else was trying to find it. So here you have 20 kids looking up the 3 Billy Goats Gruff yell. And it was the funniest thing. Like, it was so funny. But the computer teacher was also in the room and she did not like that. We were causing a disruption. So Miss Stewart was not having it either. So she told us that 2 days later, we had Spanish class like every other day. She told us 2 days later that we would not be allowed to go to recess afterwards. Now, sadly, remember that memory thing I talked about? It comes into play in this story as well. We get done with Spanish class 2 days later, and teacher's like, all right, come on, line up, y'all. Come on, we're going to recess. And I just get the wise idea to be like, but wait, didn't you say we didn't get to go to recess after all? I just remember the same way everybody in unison goes, Kell, oh my God. And they were so mad at me, and rightfully so. I can't believe I did that. Standing up for what's right. You want to talk about a real nightmare scenario, though? There was one time in first grade, I guess I had done so bad on a paper, like I probably got a 0 or something horrible. It was so bad that my teacher confronted me, and she was like, Kell, I'm gonna have to send you back to kindergarten. Now, of course, I'm sure her and my kindergarten teacher were in cahoots this whole time, laughing their asses off. But I walk across the hall to my old kindergarten classroom, and my kindergarten teacher, she's reading the kids a story, and she stops what she's doing to go, Kell Martin, Miss Pinson had to send you back to kindergarten. So here I am, heart sunk to the bottom of my chest, might as well be in my undies in front of everybody. And they're all lining up to go to gym class. So they leave, I'm still in the classroom. It's probably like 10 to 15 minutes, felt like an eternity, but I'm just sitting in there by myself, just like a glorified timeout, basically. And I will never forget that. That was like the most unique punishment. I'm kind of like in this procedure of just like, yo, boom. All right, now let's move on to Mother Earth's offerings. You won't believe the smell of this car. It smells like nature and just life, what's being brought to life. Trees, and we're all just one with each other. We're all together. Also almonds. Almost dropped them. Woo! Make it right. This one, okay. There's like one that was not falling in there. All right, now let's shake it up. Almost dropped it. Yeah. Boom. So next story, when me and my brother were growing up, we both had pretty bad problems with focusing. Mine wasn't as bad, so I took this thing called imbalance. My brother, on the other hand, was way worse, like ADD levels, and he had to take a thing called Vyvanse, which was like way more advanced. So what my mom would do, she would take the capsules and mix them up in apple juice, because we would not be swallowing those. And so it just became like a routine every morning. Like I would drink a little cup of apple juice with imbalance in it, and it would help me focus throughout the day. There was one morning, however, where I got the 2 cups of apple juice mixed up, and I accidentally took my brother's Vyvanse. That whole day, you would have not wanted to be around me. You can't take me anywhere. But literally, like, I shouldn't have gone anywhere. Like, I probably should have been chained to my bed. I was so hyper throughout the day. I would not shut up for the life of me. I remember being in gym class that day feeling like freaking Sonic the Hedgehog running at light speed. I was saying a lot of thoughts out loud, like, you know, it's crazy how we're here as a family and we're together. And I'm paraphrasing, but it would be like that kind of stuff. And then that night, I got 0 sleep. Maybe the most sleep I got was like 10 minutes or something. I stayed up all night. I remember being with my dad. I definitely stayed up for like 24 hours that day. And then it eventually wore off. Now this next one comes from 3rd grade, and it's actually the only time that I've ever gotten detention. I will admit that whenever we took tests and you put up those laminate test hider things so kids couldn't cheat, if you sat next to me in class, I would be going, you know, all the time, until my sins caught up with me. The girl who caught me, of course, was always kind of like the loud know-it-all type. When she catches me, she's like, Kell, are you cheating on my test? And someone just watched me do that. But she's like, Kell, are you cheating on my test? And I'm like I can't even get a word out. And then she walks up to the teacher's desk. I'm like, my career, it's over. There goes Harvard, I guess. I'm watching as she's tattling away. Teacher calls me up to her desk and she's like, Kell, is it true? Were you cheating on her test? And at that point, I'm like, okay, there's no BSing my way out of this. I was like, yeah. And so I got sent to the principal's office, was given a detention, but it was the last day before Thanksgiving break. So I was off the hook for a little bit. That being said, first day back from Thanksgiving break, I was up at like 5 a.m. or something, sitting in the cold room up front. I don't know what detention was like for y'all, but for me, the experience was just writing sentences over and over again. It was just like, I will live above the line or whatever the hell they were pushing. I don't think that was the last time I cheated either. Like, I'm gonna be straight up with y'all. I definitely did it after. Okay, this next one's kind of gross. And if you are not a fan of boogers at all, ew, skip it for your sake. Because unfortunately, as a kid, I was a nose picker. Sorry if that changes your view of me, but I'll have you know, I stopped eating my boogers very recently. Actually, I was never a booger muncher, but I was the type where if I could not find a Kleenex, which was often, I would start an entire collection at the bottom of my seat. Like, my family's van in the back seat, it got really bad until my mom finally caught me and she made me scrape them all off. And honestly, go Jamie for that. But sadly, the picking and sticking made its way into the classroom. And this was 5th grade, and honestly embarrassing. I feel like way too late, way too old to be doing this. But yeah, my seat at my desk was coated at one point. And about maybe halfway, 3/4 away through the school year, our teacher started telling us to put our chair on top of our desks. And of course, I'm freaking out on the inside. I'm like, oh, please God, don't make me do this. Because I am the first seat nearest to the door. Like, I'm at the corner right there. Everyone would see it. So I just started avoiding it. I didn't put my seat on top of my desk. My teacher finally spoke up about it. She was like, Kell, did you forget to put your chair on your desk again? I was like, oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'll do it next time. Didn't do it next time, or probably the next time after that. And finally, she was just like, Kell, you're gonna have to put your seat on top of your desk. And the first time I did it, I mean, there was no mistaking it. Everybody in a line walking out the door, and they're all just walking past my chair like, and dude, I was so embarrassed. I immediately started sobbing. My fate was already sealed. Now, if any of y'all were like me, you were terrified of the fire alarm going off at any given moment. And I used to have this weird superstition, and probably because my brother told me, but there was one time that I was told that in October, that was the month that the fire alarm goes off the most, because that's when the most evil spirits are around or something, because of Halloween. And I believed it. I would be in the classroom just sitting like, just waiting it out. I wanted to be right. Like, I didn't want to be surprised. I didn't mess around with loud noises or evil spirits. But on that note, there was one time in guidance class. It was the beginning of October, because I remember the guidance teacher going, class, what's your favorite part about fall? What's your favorite part about this time of year? And my friend Josh, without missing a beat, goes, my favorite part about this time of year is that's when things start to get spooky. Ooh. And in shocking comedic timing, the calendar at the front of the room falls from its push pin and hits the ground really loud. And of course, the whole class erupts in laughter. It's really funny. But thinking back, who was present with us in that classroom? Could it have been Matthew McConaughey from the Fifth Dimension? Okay, I have finished my food. I've even finished my tea, y'all. That's how long we've been here. That's all I could think about for the time being. If y'all want to hear more of this stuff, I could probably conjure up some more. I'll do it again. I'll probably eat again. So that's all I got for today. Hope y'all enjoyed watching this, and goodbye.
Thank you, know me. You would have never about me. Thank you, know me. Thank you, know me.